I've had a number of suicides in my family, including my own father. You cannot stop people from committing suicide when they have made up their mind to do it. And I am loath to blame family members or friends for failing to stop it. And some of the stuff we just heard in court was, you know, she could have stopped him, etc. We're not holding people responsible for failing to stop it. That's entirely different from encouraging it in the moment, saying, get back in. That's a whole different thing, right?
That's absolutely a whole different thing. And Lisa, you're right. When somebody is that depressed and they make up their minds to kill themselves, they may do it on their own without having any intervention whatsoever. And there is history of this girl trying to help Conrad through this. There's texts and texts and texts saying, don't kill yourself, get help. That's what I would do. At some point it changed, and it may have just been her own emotionality, getting frustrated with him, trying to call him on his bluff. That's all possible. I think the problem here, though, is would he have actually gone through with this particular suicide attempt?
Right.
Was it for the fact that she didn't say those things?
Right. And Mark Arglash, that's what we call the but-for factor. But-for, I mean, he was getting out of the truck. He had changed his mind. He was going to walk away from the carbon monoxide. She says, get back in. He gets back in, and unfortunately, he dies. How does the defense get around that?
Bad facts. And what I do is, after, well, I try not to go to trial because, quite frankly, I don't think it's a good case in front of a jury. I try to work something out with the prosecution. A 17-year-old girl, I would argue, just so we're clear so I don't get the hate mail, she's responsible. But what I argue as a defense lawyer is her brain is not fully formed. She's a teenager. The portion governing reasoning and judgment not fully formed.
That's true.
Let's not ruin her life for an isolated incident in an otherwise exemplary life.
And let's talk about remorse. And you know, after Conrad's death, Michelle organized a softball tournament in his memory. She raised $2,300 for mental health awareness. So, Beth, was she trying to atone for a crime?
Maybe she was, and maybe she's trying to mitigate a potential sentence. I just want to explain what youthful offender is in Massachusetts. It's the prosecutor's discretion whether or not to bring a juvenile ages 14 to 17 up on youthful offender in that category. And that's what the Supreme Judicial Court, Massachusetts' High Court, had to deal with, whether it was a proper indictment as a youthful offender. So you have to show the person's between 14 and 17. She was 17. And then you have to show one of three other things, either previous Department of Youth Services commitment, she didn't have that, committed a certain firearms offense, she didn't have that, or she committed an offense which involves the infliction or threat of serious bodily harm. And the court said manslaughter inherently causes serious bodily harm. Now she faces either a juvenile sentence till she's 21 in juvenile detention, or an adult sentence up to 20 years, or a combination.